I'm Dustin Goes to Hollywood, and 3 hours, okay? Just podcast here, and don't do anything dumb.
I'm Nathan Simmons, and you know the best thing about this podcast? It hasn't happened yet.
I knew someone was going to do that.
And this movie already stole 5 months of my fucking life, so let's keep this short. This is the Silver Linings Playlist, a podcast that always makes sure the Pepsi logo is facing out.
Yes,
Always.
sir.
Every single shot.
Always.
All the coverage is taken care of.
Guaranteed.
So we've agreed the next 2 hours conservatively is going to be talking about Dakota Johnson's like Pepsi can handling.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a
100%.
video, don't worry. But before we get into that, as Mally said, this is the Silver Linings Playlist, a podcast that I like to say is a podcast that connects us all per web. We're all in it.
I don't want to be.
Yeah, and when you take on the responsibility, great podcasts will come.
Oh, boy, pretty fluid.
I hate it.
Yeah, so Madam Webb, Mally,
I hate everything
you teased this
so much.
last week that you worked on this film.
Yeah.
And you got some thoughts. First of all, we got to ask, did you find your NDA? Are we able to talk about this thing?
I did find it.
Okay.
There's no date on it, so I don't know what I can talk about.
Did you ever find that spider that you stole?
From the Amazon?
Listen, I wasn't going all the way there.
It apparently only takes like an afternoon to do it, so...
You can find it pretty easily. You get off the bus, and it's right there.
Yeah, I mean, going all the way to the Amazon, and by Amazon, I mean Mexico, it just takes like a week of reshoots. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, this is a podcast where normally we talk about movies that don't end in happily ever afters. And this movie, I think, we had a debate about whether it qualifies. I think it does, because this movie ends with Madam Webb gleefully, like, doing the little finger taps about Uncle Ben's death.
Yeah.
Not only that, but this, you ever watch a TV movie and then realize that what you're seeing is like a backdoor pilot that they didn't get more episodes. They never got a series order. This movie is a backdoor pilot for more interesting films that will never be made.
Yep, absolutely. But before we talk about it in depth, it would only make sense that we bring on our Spider Gals. And I could think of no better pairing than past guest Brandi and Jenn, who have now balanced things out because we did a good movie last time with them, and now we're back down in the trenches. So Brandi and Jenn, thank you for joining us on Madame Webb.
Bonjour.
Hey.
We do have to say it properly. It is Madame Webb.
Madame Webb.
Thank you, JT.
A name that's never uttered at any point in this movie.
I don't think so.
A better title for this film would have been like Spider Women, right?
Oh, my title. Mine is Madam Spider Teens Far From Deja Vu, and we only see them in costume for 5 minutes.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like Far From Deja Vu. That's a pretty good one.
I also like Spider Destination.
Spider Destination's good.
That's not bad.
This movie definitely has some homages to the Final Destination franchise.
Oh, no doubt.
About, actually,
There is a log truck at one point.
There sure is.
No, we've come full circle. Brandi, we did Final Destination too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Rest in peace, Mark.
So I gotta ask, whose was this not the first time seeing it? Because I think for most of us, this was the first time, right? Did anyone see this before?
It wasn't mine.
Oh.
So Netflix dropped it. I'm like, oh, we're watching this. So we're going to watch this right now. And I sat there and I can't reclaim my time.
Senator, I can't reclaim my time.
Yeah, I can't. And then Dustin texted me and Brandi. I was like, oh, I really can't reclaim my time.
Yeah, I purposely went out of my way to not watch this film. And Dustin asking us to, I'm like, wow, now I'm literally being forced to. Awesome.
Well, again, if all four of us men that are here, JT included, is the Ezekiel of the podcast, we have to have the two women that are constantly trying to kill us on.
That's
It only makes sense that you two are here.
I had to watch this movie in shifts.
So did Nathan.
Yeah.
Like I'm working. I'm clocking in and out to watch this movie.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't even want to pay to rent this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Dustin had to send me a link.
This was the second time I've seen it.
How was it the first time you saw it, Nathan?
So the first time I watched this, my fiance and I were very excited to watch it because it looked like a disaster. And I knew about like all of the reshoots and like all this crazy stuff that happened behind the scenes, and we had like an agreement. I was like, we will watch this together, and I promise not to every 5 minutes be like, well, actually in the comics, because this movie is like barely trying to adapt the books. It took 2 sittings to watch it the first time. It took 3 sittings to watch it this time. And I think the thing that makes it such a slog is that it does that thing where with Final Destination, you know that you're going to get like a kill and a payoff. And with this one, every time an action scene begins, the movie trains you to basically like check out for like the first half of it. Because you're like, oh, well, none of this is really happening. So like, so like Ezekiel walks into a diner and kills Sydney Sweeney, and I just start looking at my phone. I'm like, I guess I'll just check back in when the actual scene starts.
It's not a great joke. Ezekiel walks into a bar. Like, it doesn't have much of a payoff. I've talked about this before on the show. I think the worst thing a movie can do, more so than just being bad and incompetent, it's being boring. That too, yeah. Is being boring. This movie is boring.
I was so excited. Okay, the trailer dropped, in the summer 2023?
Yeah.
Sounds about right, yeah.
The girl boss in me was stoked.
Yeah, sure. I would like to see the movie that this trailer promised me it would be.
Yeah.
It's a good trailer. I'll say that.
Whoa,
yeah.
Whoa,
I think it's a good trailer.
Okay, but according to Dakota Johnson, she fired her agent after the trailer dropped. So we didn't share the same opinion.
That press tour is one of the wildest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Her approach to the press tour is not giving a single fuck. And that's how I approach most jobs.
But what I appreciate about that approach is that every single interview she gave, people were like asking her things like, name like 3 Spider-Man movies. And I'm just like,
you mean like this right here?
This is my favorite thing in the world.
Can you name the 3 Spider-Man Tom Holland movies?
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Should I just go on fate?
Yeah.
Oh.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
Hell yes.
That's number 1. Spider-Man. And he's back.
Yeah.
And
that's not bad.
the other one, the last one is
You got it.
the Goblet of Spider-Man.
So, okay.
All right, pause. Can someone describe the look on her face when she got that question asked? Because the look on her face was pure shock.
Are you kidding me right now?
Just deer in headlights.
To me, it looked like she went down the Severance elevator, like a split her personality.
Here's the other thing, though. That is a more committed performance than the one you see in this movie.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. My applause to her is that's a great answer to that question. Because if I didn't know or care, that's the kind of response I would come up with.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Here he comes. Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't give one single fuck. It was great.
The Goblet of Fire was the best one.
I wish any of that personality she just showed made it into the movie.
I know.
I describe Dakota Johnson's acting chops as non-existent.
She's one of the few movie stars that I've ever seen who seems to actively dislike acting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like she's like, oh God, my parents are Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson. I guess I have to act.
She's like the female equivalent of Harrison Ford, who's like, I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Don't ask me questions.
But then Harrison Ford has the goods.
Yeah. That's my point. That's what I was going to say is, Harrison Ford can back it up.
Like, Harrison brings heat.
Yes.
Okay, to be fair, name one person who gives a fuck in this movie. Give me one.
I can tell you, didn't give a fuck while I was working on it.
Not even the audience gives a fuck.
Sydney Sweeney did before the camera started rolling.
She tried. She tried a little bit.
I'm going to throw this out here now. The Movie Fighters podcast mentioned that Sydney Sweeney's performance in this movie, she sounds like Lumpy Space Princess from Adventure Time the whole time, and I can't not hear it when I watch this movie.
Yeah.
You gotta help us, Cassie.
Pretty good.
I said in the group chat that I describe Sydney Sweeney's acting style as that gif of Boo from Monsters, Inc., where she's kind of zoned out and like that's her acting style.
Okay, also, Sydney Sweeney's a grown-ass woman. Why is she dressed like she's 14?
Right.
I'm not comfortable.
I can tell you exactly why. And you're not going to like the answer.
Because of people like Nathan.
God. I was going to say to get the teenage boys in the seats at the theater. God.
Push into the chat.
The intern came through on that one.
Okay, it's been a decade. Is she a good actress or just hot?
She's not. She's not good. I've said many times on this show she's not good. I think she's good behind the scenes. I think she's good in terms of like producing. She understands the career trajectory that a star should have. Like she's doing the Glenn Powell kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say she understands?
Oh, I didn't, but I wish I did. God damn it.
She did this interview after the movie came out where they were like, do you regret doing Madam Web? And she goes, no, I parlayed that into hosting Saturday Night Live.
Yep.
Respect.
I love that for her.
Yeah.
You know what?
Into making like 3 movies that I actually wanted to
I got
make.
the quote.
Yeah.
I got the quote. She said, to me, this film was a building block to build a relationship with Sony. Because I did that, I was able to sell Anyone But You and Barbarella.
Right.
Everything in my career, I do not just for the story, but strategic business decisions. And I think I fully agree with that. My problem is she doesn't show up on screen. Like I've said this multiple times. I don't want to just, be the one dunking on Sydney Sweeney, but she's just not a good actress. I have yet to see anything, maybe the last 10 seconds of Immaculate, where she's just screaming into the camera. I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah, I did like her in Immaculate.
Wait, was this movie a grift?
Well, yes and no.
I think the whole Sony Spider-Man universe is a grift.
That's what I was going to say, yes.
I don't want to hold this movie against any of the actors and actresses in it because I'm like, the script alone was already bad enough. I'm like, there's only so much they could do.
Depending on who you believe, some of these actors were sold on this as them being in the MCU. Like some of them, their understanding was that they were doing like a real Marvel movie, quote unquote.
Well, there's a quote from Dakota where she was speaking with Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
And to me, the quote sounded a bit misleading.
Yeah.
That she thought this was under Disney.
I mean, if you didn't know really anything about the division between Sony and Marvel, you could be forgiven for thinking that because this movie starts with the Marvel logo. So,
But here's the other thing. If you don't know the comics at all, what is this movie to you? Like, this movie is like nonsense.
This movie is not for anyone. And actually, the CEO of Sony Pictures said that this movie flopped because the press, quote, crucified it. It was not a bad film, and it did great on Netflix. And I'm like, yeah, that means jack shit.
Right.
Who gives a fuck if it did good on Netflix?
Red One is doing great on Amazon Prime right now.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
This movie made my Roku crash. I don't give a shit.
This movie is a virus, for sure.
Listen, I really thought that I had to go on Amazon and order a new Roku until I had to do a hard reset on it.
And yeah, I mean, between Micah Monroe's character in Longlegs and Dakota Johnson in this one, this is now 2 characters this season that sort of have clairvoyance. And that was your pick, Nathan, and Mally, this is your pick. I guess I got to come up with a psychic movie for my pick this season at some point.
Clairvoyance and no idea how to talk to other human beings.
Dakota Johnson's acting style is to be annoyed and also confused.
Relatable.
She yells at Adam Scott for trying to resuscitate somebody at one point.
Yeah, her character was just insufferable.
Can we all just agree she is the worst EMT on the planet?
Worst EMT, and I think she is also, in the meta sense.
I think she's actively killing people.
I think she is too. In the meta sense, I think she is the argument of why Nepo babies should not be allowed to lead things. I think this is the classic example.
She's actively killing people, and then also like when she's trying, quote unquote, to get somebody to the hospital, she's still like, well, he's not going room temp on my watch. Like she's just sort of like not engaged.
But I will say she is relatable because the one moment that I appreciated the most was when the little kid tries to give her a drawing and she's like, what the fuck do I do with this?
What do I do
and
with
I'm
this?
like, yeah, that's exactly how I interact with kids for sure.
Yeah.
But the way she talked about it was like, this isn't a hard it's a piece of paper. Girl, it's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
She's like, how do I fold this?
Yeah.
Says the man with children.
I know. Well, my kids is different.
Dustin, be honest, do you fold them up and throw them away?
I wait until I'm like, wow, this is great, buddy. This is amazing. And then, the second he leaves, it's like,
I will remember this and I will show this clip to him. But yeah, I don't know why she's so awkward and angry. Even when she's eating Chinese food, it's so angry.
Well, she said after the movie was released that this was not the movie she was promised, that she signed on for, that it changed.
The script changed constantly, from my understanding.
Which I believe
It did.
But also, you have to have a professionalism as an actor where if things don't turn out the way you want it to turn out, you don't go on the press tour shitting all over it while it's still in theaters. Wait like at least a year.
Can I ask Mally?
Yes, pumpkin.
How often did you come to set and find completely new pages? Like, if you can talk about that at all, because that's the part of it that I'm fascinated by.
Didn't go to set a single time.
Love
Wow.
that for you.
Yeah.
So you were just chilling at the house getting a check?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I respect that. I respect it. It's fine.
Sounds like a great work from home gig.
Madam check.
Madame check. Yeah, I feel like I got a curtsy every time I say the name of this movie.
Yeah, that's literally my the only note I took for this movie was the checks cleared.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
It's technically a movie, I
Yeah.
guess. I guess it's technically a movie. But I went into this movie expecting the worst kind of movie based on its reputation, but I found myself just bored most of the time.
It's just kind of nothing for most of it. The stuff that's most entertaining are the weird like quirks that like the vestiges of earlier drafts.
Yeah.
The fact that the villain is constantly ADR'd or talking without his mouth moving.
Yep.
And then some of just the weirdest seemingly AI generated dialogue I've ever heard. Like there are scenes where people are having full conversations and nothing that they're saying is a response to what the other person said.
No.
I've never seen anything like it.
In regards to the ADR, I've been trying to get a hold of someone I know who worked on post for this movie to get an answer as to what the fuck happened there.
Please.
I haven't gotten an answer, but if I do, I will update the podcast.
It's probably something small, like he had a cold.
Yeah, I really wanted to be confirmed or not if this script was AI, because I'm fully convinced it is.
So my understanding, and I think they even talked about this on the How Did This Get Made episode of Madam Web, but I think the idea, at least what Paul Scheer conveyed, was the guy that plays Ezekiel Sims, what's his name? Tahar Rahim?
Yeah, Tahar Rahim.
Mark.
It's Mark. Yeah, Mark Rahim. The reason the ADR sounds that way is because he was told he had to ADR basically the entire movie, and that was his kind of fuck you to it, was I'll do it poorly, and then good luck in the post process of trying to match my ADR to these. I don't know how true that is, but
I don't usually buy those stories because actors want to work again.
Yeah,
you know?
they do. Well, it seems like Dakota Johnson actively does not want to, so
Sure.
I don't know. You can take that with a grain of salt.
But it is wild because like it's like there's an episode of Drag Race where like I think it's Diabetti, one of the queens, like her description of her dress is like put together from like 17 different takes. Where she's like, I made the dress from construction paper.
Oh,
And
those
like,
Franken edits.
and that's like all of his lines are like, I will not give up. Everything I've built, these girls will have powers. Like
It's a Tommy Wiseau level read. Like, it's very strange.
I love the Diabetti reference.
I knew you'd appreciate that.
The best thing that I could compare this movie to is, do you remember when that Tom Cruise's The Mummy trailer got released, but it didn't have the music or the sound effects? It was just like,
and it's just him screaming.
yeah, it's just and there's no music. That's this movie. It feels like they released it unfinished.
My favorite part of that trailer is when she pulls the cord on the parachute and just goes,
Yep, and there's
Goes out of the
nothing. There's
airplane.
nothing else. Yeah, that's how this movie feels.
That's a movie is nothing. This is nothing burger.
Oh, it's so good.
So before I get into the info here, JT,
We haven't even made it to the fucking info yet.
We haven't.
Jesus Christ.
This is all good.
5 months, Dustin. 5 months. I don't have this kind of time.
Just remember, you were compensated.
JT, you didn't watch this movie, did you?
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. JT is our Bumblebee. He's only going to speak in sound bites this episode.
That's right.
Wait, JT didn't watch it?
No, he doesn't have to. He's just our control.
Imagine being blessed.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah. JT's the real winner of this episode.
Yeah, you won.
We're going to describe to him what happens in this episode, and we'll see if it makes sense for him by the end of it, because it certainly doesn't make sense for me.
He's the Constance Webb. He gets to like check out of the movie real early.
Well, let's get into the info. So in case you missed it, the year is last year, 2024. The director is S.J. Clarkson. This is her first feature, but she has directed a ton of TV since the aughts. She's directed episodes of Dexter, Banshee, Bates Motel, Orange is the New Black, Jessica Jones and the Defenders, as well as Succession. This is the same screenwriters as Morbius, in case you were wondering.
Hell
Of course
yeah.
it was.
But also, they've done one good movie, and I want to see if you guys can figure out which one it is. So this is the movies they've written. Dracula Untold,
Not that one.
The Last Witch Hunter, Gods of Egypt, Morbius, this movie, and Power Rangers from 2017.
Oh, interesting. I didn't like any of those movies.
Yeah.
I think that 2017 Power Rangers movie is a lot of fun. Sorry.
I'm a big fan of the 5 minutes where they're Power Rangers.
I like that movie. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
I only accept the one from the 90s, personally.
I'm a big fan of Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, same.
Krispy Kreme. It was Krispy Kreme.
Krispy
right.
Kreme. Yep. That was their Pepsi was Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
I take it back. Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa is pretty great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're right.
Yep.
Casting was inspired.
This movie stars Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Isabela, Merced, Celeste O'Connor, Tahar, Rahim, Mike Epps, and Emma Roberts, Adam Scott, and Zosia Mamet, José, María, Yázpik, Kerry, Bishé, and Josh Drennen. The budget was $80 million. The movie only managed to gross $100 million.
Oof.
And it currently sits at an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Audience score?
No, critic score. I didn't bother with the audience score.
I mean, it's probably about the same.
Yeah.
That's the lowest we've had this season, I think.
It's pretty low.
Wait, what did you say the budget was?
80 million as far as I can tell, but you may have more information than I do.
Okay.
Does that line up with what you know?
I'll get back to you.
Okay, great. Well, while you look for that, let's revisit this trailer that Nathan is so fond of.
I remember it being fun. I don't know.
I like the trailer.
Well, there's the infamous line from the trailer that does not make it into the movie. So
It kind of does.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway.
it's a little bit in there. Yeah. Well, here we go.
All right. Teaser for the trailer.
Love those. You know, it's her power. It's just the clairvoyance showing the trailer before the trailer.
Right.
Come on, get your stuff.
God, this diner scene.
It's wild.
It's so stupid.
Wait, this could have been cool, you guys.
It could have been.
Hear me out.
It had potential. That's the most annoying part about it.
Yeah.
Look at this. That's so cool.
It is just like, it is a movie for nobody.
Yeah.
Like,
And not the Bob Odenkirk character, but literally nobody.
he probably would have dug this.
My life racing
Well,
against time.
hindsight is 2020.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what was going to happen.
Trying to
Cassie
save
didn't know what was going to happen, obviously.
until one moment changed everything.
Well, and the other thing is, these Sony Spider-Man movies feel like they're from a different decade.
They all feel like they would have crushed it in the aughts.
Well, what year does this? It takes place in 2003?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Right.
I knew he
Which
was
is why
very
all the
dominant.
songs in the movie are from like 1992, aside from like Toxic.
No, I'm offended by that. I have thoughts.
Crazy these days.
Barefoot on the New York subway is a choice.
Barefoot on the subway.
New York City is a whole new level of crazy these days.
This is an emergency. Get off the train. That man's trying to kill you. Why?
In a post 9/11 world, you can't say that.
I didn't understand what kind of train this was supposed to be. They kept saying MTA. I'm like, where? Where is MTA train at? I don't see it.
Not in New York, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, like,
Wait.
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
There we go.
Clap, everyone.
recognize you. You live in my building.
it's so weird that they're like, we're gonna make Ezekiel Sims a villain,
Yeah.
which he's not in the comics, but we will stick to having him be barefoot for no reason like he is in the comics.
Okay, doesn't that go into the whole studio who owns what? And they had to pick a guy?
I mean, that's the fallacy of the whole Sony verse.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a bunch of Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I imagine they have a bowl with names and they pick a name like, all right, guys, let's go.
Yeah.
100 million, throw it at it.
You know New York with all of those classic fireworks factories.
Mm-hmm.
Randy knows where all the firework factories are in New York.
Oh, God. I didn't even think fireworks were illegal here.
I don't think they are.
95% of this fucking movie wasn't even in New York.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I believe it.
Is this Toronto? Because this feels Toronto.
No, it's Boston.
Oh, God.
That makes sense, because at one point when they were in the Amazon, Ashley goes, this just looks like Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Okay, the fact that they show the final Pepsi sign with the P falling in the trailer
Yeah.
killed me.
Oh, yeah, they show how the villain dies.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
show it.
It's like, what is the point of watching?
We did shoot some of this in Mexico. Would you like to guess the one part I can confirm made it into the movie?
Yes, oh gosh.
Is it just the shot of the bus
Yeah.
with Cassie on it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, just that one shot.
That's amazing.
And I think her walking through the forest, which I don't know why that was fucking Mexico.
Yeah.
That just looks like the woods anywhere.
Where she's able to match up the twigs with the Polaroid that she has.
Yeah, of course.
From like 40 years ago.
So that was in Mexico.
If memory serves, yes.
So what was the Amazon? The Amazon? Green screen?
No, that's just a lot. They're on set somewhere.
Okay, okay, I see.
Wait, are you talking about the cave scene towards the end?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm vaguely sure that was reshot in LA.
Yeah, that's on a set somewhere.
Really? That wasn't AI?
Because I'm pretty sure that's why the dude all of a sudden isn't red with like a fucking BDSM outfit on.
Yeah.
They're flying Spider-Man costumes.
Uh-huh.
So we've talked about it a couple of times, but the Pepsi of it all. So this is not my original edit, but I noticed, I couldn't help but notice it too, and I'm so glad that Honest Trailers noticed it too. But in case you didn't see it, Cassie's one weakness of this movie is opening a Pepsi can.
She can't do it.
This girl can't open it for the life of her.
This is the part of Cassie that's relatable.
At one point, she's just hitting it with the ball of her hand.
Oh, yeah, that's right here. What?
Honestly, me right after I get my nails done.
Yeah, she got a fresh set. You guys are just jealous.
Yeah. I'm like, this is just me.
She cannot. It's her one weakness, guys. She can't do it.
She gotta polish it first. That's her emotional support can for the baby shower.
Was she about to open it at a full 90-degree angle? That's gonna spill everywhere.
Yeah, she points it at the grill and starts trying to open it.
Can you open this?
Yeah, you make someone else open it.
Was she legally obligated to hold it during the scene?
This movie paid for by Pepsi.
Also, did we need a 5-minute scene of her critiquing Mike Epps' grilling skills?
Yeah,
oh my
I'm
God.
like, when did she become a fucking grill master? Like, what is her beef with this?
Oh, also, I love all the firefighters drinking at a barbecue on call.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I love that.
Because I love being saved by drunk firefighters.
My father was a firefighter? Accurate.
I wish that the soda just like burst and then the camera zooms out and she's like, let's try that again. And she opens it
Let's
perfectly.
not open it. Let's not open it towards me. Let's face it away.
No, Ezekiel hands it to her, and then she has to like run away from Ezekiel handing her the Pepsi.
Jesus Christ.
The dew connects them all.
So we mentioned it before, but yeah, that Marvel logo at the beginning of this movie.
Oh my God.
And like the rest of the Sonyverse films, I feel like it's someone, you know, that infomercial late night of the guy slapping the sealant over the crack in the aquarium. That's that Marvel logo.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry, we got it. We're good.
It's that, but also like to this being a grift, none of usually those scrolls contain, you know, faces of characters we recognize.
Yep.
And this one, it's like someone's ankle, a fist.
Yep.
Well, I didn't know if I should take the word grift back. I was going to say money laundering, but they didn't make any.
They didn't make any.
Yeah, as Alex Proya said about that Crow remake, turns out it wasn't much of a cash grab after all. I'm talking about these two. Like, yeah, these movies, I feel like, especially like Venom and that, would have crushed in the 2000s. But then again, Venom made $1 billion fucking dollars, so I guess I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So the editing in this movie.
Maybe nauseous.
Did someone hire the same editor from Halloween Ends with those weird fucking zooms that they were doing?
It's so weird.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't understand what's going on with the artificial zooms.
It felt like a cheaper version of like the old, like the 2000s Battlestar Galactica, where they would like shoot it documentary style. Like,
it's like they want to make it more exciting. So let's have like a faux handheld zoom in on a character, but like nothing's happening.
but you can't do that in a movie that has Adam Scott, because now I'm expecting Leslie Knope to like be in the ambulance with him.
Yeah.
The way I see it is like, you know when you jingle keys in front of a baby?
Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah.
And to hold your attention?
Yep.
That's how I felt, and I felt kind of nauseous because they kept doing it.
Yeah.
Adam Scott's on the press tour like, would a depressed person make this? Talking about the movie.
Yes, they would. I'm very depressed after watching.
There's an episode of I think it's You Talking You Two to Me, the Adam Scott Aukerman show, where he's like, you're in one of those Marvel movies. He goes, I don't want to fucking talk about it.
I found this comment on Reddit from user Bauermeister, who really summarizes something
I love that guy.
great. Yeah, he's always got great insight.
Yeah, he 24 big hit.
Mm-hmm. He said the opening 5 minutes being a massive lore reveal that Peter Parker is a culturally appropriating racist.
Yes,
who's been doing the equivalent of wearing Native American headdresses to Coachella.
Yes.
Is fucking incredible.
That's what we were like watching the opening, and Ashley's like, so does this mean like Spider-Man is basically like a white guy with dreads?
Yeah, he's wearing the same outfit, and it says This comic goes on and says, Madam Web's mom visits an ancient spider tribe in the Amazon.
Yeah.
And they all have spider powers and wear tribal Spider-Man-like costumes.
And she's like, give me your juice.
Yeah. With webs made out of tree vines that inspired the main villain's costume.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is cultural appropriation.
So is that in the comic?
No.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I thought it would be something in the comic. That's why I didn't even write any notes about it. Jesus Christ.
It's so absurd. I mean, they played in the early 2000s where this movie is set. In the comics, they played with this idea that the spider that gave Peter his powers was like this elemental being and not really like a science experiment. So they were getting into some kind of magic shit. And Ezekiel was a guy who was like, yeah, I got these powers years before you. Let me show you how to really use them, kid. And like, he was kind of...
he was like a mentor.
Yeah.
That's just Tony Stark in the...
Yeah.
Okay, I see what's going on now.
Now it's Tony Stark,
Oh, okay.
And so, I don't know, but he was like, sort of like, he didn't really like being a hero. He just kind of used his powers to get rich.
That's realistic.
There's this, I don't know, it was an interesting character. And in this version... we're just given like bare, like weird snatches of his backstory. Like at one point he says, nobody helped me when my family was starving.
Yeah.
And he keeps yelling about everything I've built, but we don't know what he's built.
Yeah.
He just has a house and he owns Zosia Mamet.
Yeah, he has one henchman.
And is he barefoot a lot in the comic?
He is.
Okay.
He is, because he doesn't...
That's the one thing they were a stickler about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, are you all not barefoot right now?
In my house? Correct.
Oh, right. Yeah, you want to see the Tootsies? Hold on.
I'm barefoot as fuck.
Okay, Justin, that's extra. That's Patreon content.
Yeah, right. We'll save this for the Patreon.
Yeah.
Well, what's more powerful, a spider with 8 arms or Ezekiel with 10 little pities?
And does the venom flow through his feet as well?
Yeah, through each individual toe. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I don't read the comics, dude.
I
don't know.
I thought you were being serious. I'm so sorry.
I can't lie to you.
Let me crack open my spider anatomy book real fast.
I'm desperately trying not to be the in the comics guy in this episode, but
No,
I just
we
want to
need
throw
that.
out.
No. This is very insightful because I'm trying to figure out why.
Nathan, you have to be that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need you.
we
We
need
need
you.
some context.
Well, what helps is almost none of this is in the comics.
Yeah.
These three girls eventually become various spider women.
Oh.
Yes, that I do know.
That we don't even really get to see.
Yep.
Do they get eaten by spiders as well?
No, and Cassie Webb in the comics is like in her 70s and in a wheelchair, which she's inexplicably in a wheelchair at the end of this movie.
Yep.
No, we have to make her hot. Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and then,
Make her hot.
There's a couple of things here. Number one, do you think Ezekiel is on WikiFeet? Number two,
Ezekiel feet.
this is a prequel to a prequel because this is like before the Spider Girls get their powers and also before Spider-Man.
It's a prequel to a movie that doesn't exist.
Thank you. Because if this is supposed to be a prequel to the Tom Holland Spider-Man, which they tried to do, then it would make no sense that everyone would be shocked about this Spider-Man character showing up because it already happened in the 2000s, and essentially it should have happened with these 3 other girls too. Spider-Man should be littered in the streets.
My understanding
There
is
should be so many Spider-Men and women.
my understanding is that in various reshoots, it went from being about the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah.
And then no Spider-Man to the point where like, you know, there might as well be like a sound effect that plays every time they start to talk about the baby's name.
And you can't say the baby's name.
No.
The baby's name is forbidden.
It's a good running joke of like there's a car horn that beeps wherever she says it or something like that.
Uh-huh.
It's the bride in Kill Bill.
Or in my favorite version of this, at one point, Adam Scott tells Dakota Johnson, I'm seeing somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, cool, what's her name? And he just looks at her and smiles like a fucking freak.
That's a wink. A wink and a nod to the audience.
I groaned so hard at that.
Hey guys, you know who it is.
Well, because he can't outright say, oh, I'm dating 2003 Marissa Tomei from Anger Management.
Yeah,
Ooh.
can't do it.
I mean, that's pretty good.
See, I thought he was implying like he went through like a Jerry Seinfeld thing. He never learned her name.
So I guess we should set this up for JT, who has not seen the movie. So JT, the movie starts in the 70s, and it's Dakota Johnson's mom, and we find out later on that she's like 9 months pregnant. She's about ready to burst.
She's taking photographs of the Amazon, and like at one point she's taking pictures, and then she cocks her head like she just noticed the giant web next to her.
Yep.
It's like, well,
Yep.
what were you taking pictures of?
So we come to find out later in the movie that her unborn baby, who is Dakota Johnson, has this disease, this terminal illness that you cannot diagnose in the womb, but somehow they do in this movie.
But she doesn't have that disease, Dustin.
Oh my God.
Right.
That's Ashley's favorite line in the movie.
It's the fucking best. And by that, I mean the fucking worst.
It's so funny.
I don't have a neurological disorder.
No, neuromuscular
That's what
disorder?
it is,
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah. Something you
why
can't
not?
diagnose in the womb. But she goes to see this doctor. This doctor says, we can't help you. And she goes, well, there's this legend of this spider in the Amazon with healing properties.
Las Arañas.
Yes.
Flying spider people.
So she's like, I'll go to the Amazon. She hires this guy, Ezekiel, to be like her guide.
Yeah.
They eventually find the spider. He kills everyone else that's there to help her find the spider.
Yeah.
He steals it, but not before shooting her, right? He shoots her.
He shoots her and everyone else in the camp. After saying, without his mouth moving, he goes, I agreed to provide security for you because you're close to the spider.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that was an accident. Him shooting whatever her name is.
Right. They have a little tussle because he's like, give me the spider.
Give me that spider. I want that spider.
I want that spider.
And then he takes the spider, leaves her for dead. And then these spider men and women, essentially, in like vines wrapped around them to mimic the web, pick her up, take her to the fountain of youth, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're gonna take care of your baby. She gives birth to Dakota Johnson there. She's like, don't worry, we'll take care of her. Dakota Johnson's mom dies.
And the whole way, they let a spider bite her on the boob.
Yes. The spider bites the mom. Yeah.
I also just want to say, like, those scenes with the spider people, that just made me feel like I was getting motion sickness.
It's not filmed great.
Yeah.
Is JT allowed to look up how they look?
Yes.
Can he Google how the spider people look? He needs to see.
Google Las Arañas.
Jesus Christ.
Which is made up for this movie, right?
I believe so.
Google Ezekiel on WikiFeed too while you're at it.
Yeah.
Don't Google that.
Yeah, I think it's look up Mr. Beast Minecraft feed.
No, yeah, you need to see how they look and just think of a spider.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You see how like it's cultural appropriation when Peter Parker ends up making his suit.
And this whole time, it's edited in a way that is like, guys, I have a bombshell for you.
Oh no.
Tahar Rahim does have a WikiFeed.
Oh
page.
yeah, is it on there? Please tell me. Is pictures from this movie on there? Please tell me. Sign up.
It has to be.
What's wild
Log
is
into your existing account.
Nathan, drop the link in the chat.
What's wild is they don't appear to be from this movie.
That's
No.
unfortunate. Somebody is not updating his page properly.
I'd buy that for $1.
This whole sequence with the spider people is also like edited in a way where I'm like, there could be 1 or 12 of them in this scene.
Yep.
And it's all shot with these like it looks like in Wayne's World where they do the crazy extreme zoom in.
Yep. It sure does.
All right, drop in min.wikifeet.com.
Good Lord, how are we? We're not even past the fucking prologue yet.
I'll move us along. So we jump forward to 2003, and Dakota Johnson is an EMT working alongside Ben.
They shipped the baby from Amazon.
They shipped the baby from Amazon. It's an overnight delivery. I don't know how they get it.
2-day delivery of the baby.
There's no explanation why they took the baby to New York or who they left the baby with.
They leave the baby goes into the foster system with a bunch of her mom's stuff.
Yes, yeah. Like there's photographs and everything, but she grows up to be Dakota Johnson, who's an EMT. And I gotta ask, do you think she became a paramedic because she is connected to the spider that has healing properties, or do you think it's just serendipitous?
I think it's just like Dakota Johnson in real life. She fell into the job and she's just doing her best.
Cassie definitely has been fired from every temp agency in the New York metro area.
Yeah, absolutely. So
just impressive.
Adam Scott is playing a young Ben Parker.
Boy, when I found that out, I almost lost my fucking mind. I was like reading through like the call sheets and shit, and just like fucking my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, no, Adam, bud, what are you doing?
Because the original screenplay,
times are hard.
Times are tough.
Yeah, man.
The original screenplay was like a Terminator ripoff, right?
Yeah.
Like Ezekiel was trying to kill Mary before she gave birth.
Basically.
Yes, it was basically Terminator 1.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch that.
Same.
I would too.
Yeah.
I think the reason they chose not to is because of all the legal hoops they would have to jump through.
Right.
Worth it.
But that's the thing. From my understanding, there's not a lot of... They could use Spider-Man if they wanted to in any of these Sony movies.
The Sony exec who just stepped down revealed there's no rule against dog being Spider-Man. No, there's no rule against.
What are we doing? This is like a multi-billion-dollar franchise, this spider-less Sonyverse, and they're like, we could use Spider-Man. We just choose. What the fuck?
These assholes were gonna make an El Muerto movie, a guy who's been in 2 issues of Spider-Man in 2001, and they're like, we don't need Spider-Man.
They were gonna do a Bad Bunny movie.
Yeah, Bad Bunny, right?
This is like, I guess they're like, we're gonna make $1 go a long way.
So I didn't know who Bad Bunny was, and when that movie was announced, I thought it was Bad Baby, and I was even more confused. I was like, what is
that? Even better.
We need the bad-verse. That's what we need.
Catch Me Outside verse.
Nathan thought it was going to star the baby from Boss Baby.
Yeah. So you think all these spider women are a bunch of hoes?
God. And then, so Dakota Johnson lives in this building by herself, and we're doing the "you'll get your rent soon" bit from Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm. She is not affording that fucking apartment.
She sure is not. Not on an EMT salary.
Oh my God.
Well, this is pre-housing market crash, so maybe.
It was 2003, yeah.
Hey, she might have she might have rent control. You don't know that.
It should have been Mr. Ditkovich from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Yes, it should have been.
That would have been good.
He's like, I've not seen your dad in 6 months.
No, we're doing Tom Holland, right? Tom Holland Spider.
In theory,
it's supposed to be Andrew Garfield, and then they changed to Tom Holland.
Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter.
It truly doesn't.
Yeah, it does. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, because at one point this movie did take place in the 90s.
Yeah, I do know that. Yeah.
Okay, this movie could take place between 96 and 2005, for all I know.
Mm-hmm. It could very well could. So they respond to a call. Well, first of all, she runs into Sweeney because they saved her dad or something like that. It truly doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Can we just jump ahead to Prop Cop at this fucking point? Like, come on.
I'm trying to move it as fast as possible. It's just to show you that she had a prior connection to Sweeney.
I mean, this movie was a whole lot of nothing, honestly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, once he sets it up, there's nothing.
Yeah.
She almost runs over Celeste O'Connor skateboarding in the streets.
Sure.
She sees Isabela Merced in her building who can't pay for her rent. And then she goes to respond to a call. She saves this guy from a car that's flipped over, hanging off the side of a bridge. She gets trapped in the car. The car falls into the water, and then that's where her powers activate, I guess.
Bootleg Doctor Strange scene.
Yes, very much.
Right before that, she goes through her suitcase of HD Polaroids of her mom, which I'm like, who took the photo of the woman holding the camera? Who developed all of these photos?
Who strapped her to the baby?
The Amazon spider people. Are you not paying attention?
Yeah, right. She does say, I hope the spiders were worth it, Mom.
Yeah, they have their own photo print center, you know?
Yeah.
She falls into the water and she sees some weird ghost jizz turn into a balloon made of blood.
Yep.
In the first Doctor Strange movie, it's the same thing.
Right.
You're floating through the brain or whatever.
Yep.
She wakes up under the bridge with a oob stank, and now she's got powers.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, she turns out to have the same powers as Raven from That's So Raven. And they even do like the zoom in on
That's so madam.
She does the zoom in on her eyes and shit. It's all
Don't
like
give Marvel any ideas.
To be fair, if Stan Lee had created this character, her name would have been Clairvoyant.
Yep, it sure would have.
That's not bad.
Way better.
That's not bad.
Wait, okay, no, so she can see the future, but doesn't she get like options to see in the? No, am I making that up?
No, this shit is multiple choice.
Yeah, she doesn't get to decide when her powers activate.
Right.
But they just do, and then when they do, it's only about 4 seconds into the future, so it's not very useful.
Well, except sometimes it's like a half hour, and then sometimes it's just a weird psychic conference call that she has with Ezekiel.
They have the Force call from The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But she just wants to go home and watch Idol.
I was going to say, my next note is, do you remember when Idol was appointment television? I mean, it wasn't for me, but it certainly was in the vernacular.
She had to make sure she voted for Sanjaya or whatever. This movie doesn't fucking matter.
Wait, isn't she engaged to Tom Holland now?
I think you're right.
You know what? Sure.
I think you're right. We get introduced to the villain, Ezekiel, properly.
Sort
he goes
of.
to an opera, and the way he picks up this woman is the old trick of, hey, I'm going to hand you something, and then when they reach for it, he, and that's it. That's all it takes.
I'm just joshing with you.
Yeah, you're just jealous of his swag. Keep
you're
going.
You're right.
Well, Nathan, that's how you won over Ashley, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And it turns out this woman's a CIA agent or whatever.
Because of course she is.
She sleeps with him, and then he is only he knows who she is, and his whole plan.
Wait, we're all wondering the same question regarding the poison, right?
Well, my favorite line of dialogue for the movie is he has this thing where he grabs her, and then she starts to get poisoned because you can see it running through her veins. My favorite line of dialogue is, "How are you poisoning me?"
I know.
Take a wild fucking guess. I don't know.
Did he have poison on his dog?
That's
I'm sorry.
the question.
That's the question.
That's the question.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's a great question. Is his jizz poisonous?
Can he control it?
I think so. I mean, there is a Spider-Man comic where that happens.
Oh, Nathan, you're right.
That sounds like some fucked up rogue situation.
The only powers this guy has is he can walk on the ceiling. He's a little bit stronger than normal, and if he
just like Eddie Murphy
and Poison Dong.
He's like Rogue, where if he touches you for too long, you get poisoned
with his penis. Got it.
He should have been like, "Sorry, sugar."
And he can see into the future too, right?
I fucking guess.
No, he keeps harping on these girls trying to kill him.
No, he doesn't see into the future. He just has visions, which I would argue is different.
Future nightmares.
Oh yeah, they are like dreams. Yeah.
He has a dream about these girls killing him that is so hard to follow.
Yep.
And my favorite part of this is when his mouth is not moving and he goes, "Where's my spider? They took my spider."
Where's my spider? Like Christopher Walken.
It's like if Tommy Wiseau was drunk. That's the level read that he's doing.
We will never get to learn why they steal his spider in the future or kill him.
Yeah.
We never see the girls in their costumes outside of this vision. They never get their powers. We never know why they're killing him, why they take the spider. There's, like I said, this is a prequel to a prequel.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this is.
That's the next movie.
Yeah.
It's a prequel to a movie that can't happen because he dies in this one.
Yeah.
And he has this conversation.
There are more villains.
Yeah.
There's more villains. You can fight stuff.
There are more villains, but his story, which is the center of this whole movie, he's technically dead.
Right.
So is this actual plotline a part of the comic?
No.
How do they justify that? Like,
no idea.
Just assume nothing is in the comics.
Okay, good.
He's having a real casual conversation with this lady before he poisons her too. He's like, "It's not a dream. I'm going to be murdered one day." And she says, "Oh, wow, that's a buzzkill."
So the plot, JT, the whole reason he's sleeping with this CIA agent is because in 2003, the CIA have incredible facial recognition technology, and he's seeing these girls in his vision.
To be fair, it was post 9/11.
That's very true. This is surveillance states.
The government was doing stuff.
Yeah.
Right, but also in this movie, Dakota Johnson, a wanted woman, flies to Peru, no problem.
Yeah, she sure does.
With a stolen cab.
A stolen cab.
Post 9/11, she's able to do that.
She parks the cab at the airport.
She sure does.
Has to.
She paid and everything.
And then she picks it back up when she's home. She drives this cab fucking everywhere.
Like, did that cab never get reported or anything?
Apparently.
It's funny because she pops the license plate off. She's like, now they'll never find me, even though it's still emblazoned with...
It's still on the top of the fucking car.
Yeah. It still says New York Cab Company.
And she steals an ambulance outside of work hours.
She's stealing all of, like, the service vehicles she can. Like, but this guy's plan, JT, is he's going to use this technology to scan the streets of New York.
I forgot we were explaining this movie to JT.
I'm trying. He's going to scan the streets of New York and find these girls so they can then kill them before they can kill him.
Mm-hmm.
What don't you fucking understand?
It's so crystal clear. I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, and on top of that, he has computer generated drawings of his dreams that they're gonna use.
Yeah, he has pre-AI.
Like a police sketch artist,
Yeah.
he fed it into a computer and it spits out Sydney Sweeney and Isabela Merced.
I like how he's like, I don't know what they look like. They were wearing masks. Not really.
Yeah, their masks don't cover much, to be honest.
It doesn't.
And that leads to my favorite conversation in the movie, which is Zosia Mamet has used computers to like de-age them to like where they would be now. She's like, "I'm just guessing that your dreams are 10 years in the future," which is an insane line.
This is a villain that has one henchman.
Yeah.
That's all he has. And it's Zosia Mamet, who never leaves the computer.
Yeah, I'm like, free this poor woman.
Yeah, she's the woman of the chair.
She gets creeped out and she's like, they're teenagers. teenagers, and he goes, they're teenagers now, but one day they will have powers.
I did not like that line. I did not like it.
Which I'm pretty sure is a line. Isn't that what Matthew McConaughey says in Dazed and Confused?
It is.
The fact that she didn't pick up the phone immediately, like, hey guys, I have this guy here.
Yeah.
These spider girls, I keep getting older. They stay the same age.
When he said they're teenagers now, but I was like, let's stop that sentence right there. I do not like that. I don't like where you're going with this, man.
Why don't you have a seat right there?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
For real.
There it was.
Yeah. fucking Spider Matt Gates over here.
Yeah.
Wait, so is this computer pre-AI?
Guys.
Did he tell the computer his dreams like a therapist?
I want to answer your question, but we cannot stay hinged on this AI thing. We have so much more movie to go. So let me move us forward a little bit.
Please.
So Ben is...
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying. So Ben Parker, his sister-in-law is Emma Roberts, who is pregnant.
5 months, Dustin.
I'm trying. So his sister-in-law is pregnant.
Like 9 months pregnant.
Dakota Johnson comes to this baby shower with me. She goes, I don't want to go. She ends up going anyway. Mike Epps is his partner, is a fireman. He's grilling. She critiques his grilling pretty accurately, I would say. But anyways, she clearly doesn't want to be there. She's socially awkward. He's like, go inside and play the baby shower games with the girls, right?
Which she doesn't want to do. She wants to hang with the guys.
Yes. So she goes in there, and I think this is so funny because the game they're playing is guess what the baby is going to be named, which if you know anything about Spider-Man, you know his name's going to be Peter. But
I have questions about this, though.
the funniest part about this game is her husband's name is Richard, right?
Yeah.
So if she's saying guess who the baby's name is going to be, why would anyone guess the name Peter? Because it has no relation at all to anyone or anything.
They're just throwing out names.
Jimothy, Carl, like that's exactly the extent that it would be for this game.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, the game is going to take like 8 hours.
That's real.
I was more confused by the fact that they're handing out an hors d'oeuvre called baby sausage.
I don't like that. Again, I don't like that. Don't like it. JT, hit the Law and Order sound effect.
Yeah, put that sound again and drop that sound.
Thank you.
Okay, to be fair, baby showers are stupid, and that's definitely something that a game or whatever that would be played.
We did not play this game at my baby shower. We just straight up told everybody. We're like, his name's Ridley. Don't worry about it.
And you guys both did a shot every time someone said Ridley, right?
The other game that they play here is they're like, write something on a piece of paper that you would tell your mom or whatever. And Dakota Johnson puts in a blank piece of paper.
What a fucking asshole.
Such a dick.
Okay, this is the funniest scene in the movie, though.
It is because then Emma Roberts gets it. She goes, oh, what's this about? She goes, oh, well, my mom's dead, and I didn't know her.
She says she died in childbirth.
That's right.
To a pregnant woman.
She says, my mom died in childbirth, and she points at Emma Roberts when she says childbirth.
She's such an asshole.
Yeah, you know what this scene reminded me of? It reminded me of the baby shower scene in Smile 1.
Oh my God, absolutely.
I'd rather go to that baby shower than this one.
Rather go to that.
Oh God.
But like how awkward she was, it just felt like that level of like secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah. So she gets a vision doing chest compressions on a guy, and then it turns out, I think, to be Mike Epps, right? That she sees.
Yeah. And he's bleeding from a chest wound, so she's basically just milking his blood.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
She's pumping the blood out.
He's super dead.
Again, she's actively murdering people.
She is.
She's so bad at it.
And so she gets this vision, and it cuts back to the real world. And it turns out they get a phone call where this abandoned fireworks factory burned down.
Sure.
Those famous, even though New York has made fireworks illegal,
and the ADR is like, they really hit, this place is full of industrial grade fireworks.
What?
Like someone just yells it really loud.
Industrial grade?
Yeah.
I could not tell you. But
okay, never mind. Keep going.
Yeah, just move on.
She sees this vision of Mike Epps.
If you're wondering, the industrial grade fireworks, not in the comics.
Okay, got it.
But she sees this vision, and then it cuts to a shot where Dakota Johnson is just standing in the middle of the street. Mike Epps is driving away, and then the gentlest car accident happens.
Oh, yeah.
This truck comes in off camera and just runs into it, and he is dead. like dead.
Dead immediately.
He's super dead.
He's super dead. And
I
like,
don't understand where that truck came from. And like, it didn't even look like a real intersection.
Fun fact, that wasn't scripted. It just happened. The camera kept rolling.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, I love the realism they brought to the film.
yeah, to this day, Mike Epps dead.
I think it's a subtle reference to Truckman from the Avengers.
My favorite hero. But yeah, I just wrote down that this is the worst entry to the Final Destination franchise.
Truly.
Trying to stop a death and just can't. But she doesn't she doesn't tell anybody about any of this.
No.
She's just like, oh, yeah, I guess he's dead. Anyway, like.
I mean, she goes to the doctor. Well, I guess she doesn't really tell the doctor. Keep going.
No, she just let it happen.
Yeah.
The doctor says your eyesight is great, as though like visions and vision are connected. Like those are one thing.
Well, her eyes. Well, that's going to connect towards the end because we all know what happens to her.
Sure, it's irony.
Well, and it's also funny because there's parts of this movie where like she goes to the doctor and the doctor's like, oh, this is classic case of depression or whatever. You just need to go home, watch some old movies. She watches Scrooge, the Christmas Carol.
Yeah, she's watching A Christmas Carol in like July.
Yes, and she says to the TV, no, not to tell you, Scrooge, but you can't change anything. And I'm like, it reminds me of that Futurama clip of the devil talking to, I think it's Bender, and he says,
You can't just have your characters announce how they feel. That makes me feel angry.
Right.
Yeah, like that's exactly the attitude these screenwriters had. Like, let's just have Dakota Johnson say to basically the camera the theme of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, she might as well have looked right down the barrel and said that.
Then I have to see this bird just crash into the glass, and I'm like, same.
Yeah, things like this make me have a fucking aneurysm because it's just always one of those things that goes back to like, God, media literacy really is fucking dead.
Well, we have this bit where she has a vision about a pigeon hitting the window, so she opens the window and the pigeon comes in and survives, and then she looks at it and says, I guess you didn't die after all.
Yep.
Yeah, no shit.
There's this article that came out very recently where it was someone investigating into Netflix movies and why they just look like that, like the Netflix originals. And there was a part in the article where they said the execs at Netflix tell their screenwriters, you need to have your characters constantly reiterate what they're doing, what the plan is, how they feel.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Because they expect people to put it on in the background and not pay attention.
That's why every other scene in that Lindsay Lohan movie, The Irish Wish, she's like, yeah, today we went to Galway and then we stood on a mountain and it was really nice, but I have to move tomorrow and you have to go to your new job. And like,
oh my God, who cares?
So that line, that type of screenwriting,
open the schools back up.
Yep.
That type of screenwriting is leaking over into other facets of movie making. And it's just annoying. And then she goes to get on a train. I don't know why she goes to get on the subway train, but it doesn't matter.
Oh no, the funeral.
She's going to the funeral.
Yeah,
right, she's going to go to the funeral for Mike Epps. Yeah,
who she murdered.
Right, she killed. Yeah,
Adam Scott's like, the funeral's about to begin. If you leave in the next 20 minutes, you'll make it. I'm like, absolutely, you will not.
Absolutely not. But she gets on this train. She sits down in an empty area. This asshole sits down right next to her.
Oh my God!
And says, "Am I on the wrong train?" And she goes, I don't know, man. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're going. What are you talking about?
That's the guy that pisses at the urinal right next to you in an empty bathroom.
Walks right up to you. There's like 7 empty urinals. He gets the one right next. And he also leans against the wall and goes, oh, as he's going too. Yeah.
And then he goes, can you shake it for me?
Yeah.
And Nathan, being such a nice guy, always agrees.
I oblige.
No, I like the other guy with the PSP. What year did the PSP come out?
I am so glad you brought this up. This guy is a fucking time traveler. Oh, really? He did not hit the North American market until 2005.
Oh, okay.
Man.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
That's the true crisis core right there.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Maybe he was beta testing. We don't know.
Sure.
Very possible. So she gets on this train.
It's a reference to Beta Man from X-Men.
He's referred to as Cuck in the comics a lot. So she gets on this train. She has a vision of this guy, Ezekiel, showing up and killing the girls on the train because somehow all the girls are on the train as well.
Ezekiel, who can't decide if he wants to be in costume or not.
Nope, he sure can. He gets in and out of that costume very quickly.
He does.
Okay, but also, where did he reach out to Tony Stark for that costume?
Don't know.
Bro, what is going on?
It's wild.
I don't know, but she sees the vision of him killing these girls on the train, and so she does doesn't know who these girls are, really. So she's like, you three come with me or this guy's going to kill you.
Yeah.
They listen to her. They get off the train. The cops arrest her.
Because she murdered Mike Epps.
That's why they're like, you're the number one suspect.
Yeah, she commits a hate crime.
Exactly.
I kept thinking like this is how the Madame Web ride at Universal would start. Is you're in the train and you hear the conductor go like, "What are you doing?" And and then everyone's favorite character, Ezekiel Sims, comes in.
So he starts beating up these cops. They get away.
I kind of like this little fight scene.
I'm sorry, but just as someone who lives in New York, like this whole scene is just laughable to me because not only are the trains inconsistent, but just the thought of NYPD actually doing something when someone calls for help.
Shocking.
So the best part though is she steals this cab, and the least realistic part of this movie to me is she's able to drive through New York without ever using her brakes once. She does not stop. But also
she drives them out to the woods.
The woods famously adjacent to Manhattan. But my favorite part though is she turns on the radio. She keeps telling these girls, "I'm not kidnapping you, by the way. I'm just saving you." And she's like, "Okay." She goes, "If you guys don't want to be here, you can leave now." And Celeste O'Connor goes, "Okay." And she tries to get out, and Dakota Johnson goes, "No, wait." And she locks the door. She goes, "You can't actually leave." Yeah. So it is kidnapping.
Yeah, that's kidnapping.
And she turns on the radio. And the radio's like, these NYPD officers were attacked on the side. This just happened like 4 seconds ago.
It's in the newspaper 2 hours later.
We'll get there. She turns on the radio and it goes, "Oh, these NYPD officers were assaulted by this woman." So she's the one who's implicated in all this. She goes, "I didn't do that."
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's like, "I'm going to drive you girls out to New Jersey, to the forest."
Mm-hmm.
You know, New Jersey's famous forest. And she just literally takes them to the woods.
Yeah.
She's like, "Okay, I don't know what's going on, but you guys just need to stay here while I go find it out.
I need to leave you alone for a few hours," she says.
And they just trust this lady.
Yeah, they just stay in the woods.
Yeah, that leaves them in the woods. They're just like, yeah, let's listen to this lady that just like picked us up.
And so she's trying to explain to these girls that I can see into the future. And you know how Joseph Campbell's idea of the hero's journey includes the refusal of the call, right? Like
right.
Every hero's got to not want to go on the journey at first to actually make it compelling storytelling.
Sure.
Dakota Johnson's apathy feels constant throughout the movie. She never accepts the call, really. No. And she's like, I didn't ask to be doing this when she tells the girls about saving them. Right. Like, I feel like that's also her talking about the movie. Like, I didn't ask to be doing this.
She had a Freudian slip.
She goes back to her apartment. She leaves the girls just in the fucking woods.
Her apartment, a building which has a massive Beyonce poster on the side.
It sure does. It sure does.
So wait, so these girls just stay in the woods? They trust this woman?
They do.
She literally just leaves them in the woods.
Yeah.
No food or anything. She's like, "Good luck."
Which granted, those kids are probably used to that because they had peers that didn't care about them.
Right. We find that out later. Yeah, all these girls are not orphans, but
they have their little Breakfast Club scene.
Yeah.
She gave him a crusty bag of Doritos that was open.
Yeah, she sure did.
Yeah.
These are my console Doritos. I just leave in my glove box.
In my stolen cab.
Those were someone else's Doritos.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Those were in the cab.
Right. You're right.
I mean, she already stole the cab, so might as well steal the chips too.
Right, why not?
So she goes back to her apartment. She starts rummaging through the photographs. She figures out...
So she's had this journal from her mom her entire life, and this is the first time she's read it. Because she's like reading it out loud to this stray cat, being like, "Have you ever heard of Las Arañas?"
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I thought that was her cat.
No, it's not. It is a stray cat that she just calls Cat.
Oh.
Yeah.
She finds a photo of her mom and Ezekiel, and they're like posed. Yeah. Her mom's holding a camera. Like, it's... Who took this photo? Who had it developed?
But I did get the slightest, and I mean the slightest little giggle out of this next scene because she learns.
Oh, me too.
She learns about the spider powers, and she goes, "How would you know if you couldn't climb on walls if you never tried?"
Oh my god!
And she tries climbing up her apartment wall as like an homage to that first scene in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
It's framed the same way.
It is, and then she just kind of like, ugh, and
yeah,
she just falls down on the ground.
It's pretty good.
Okay, I laughed. I thought that was funny.
I liked it.
It's a good little bit. And then, we cut back to the girls, and man, the dialogue in this movie, because she also gave them a bag of beef jerky, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a frat bro-y way of like, I don't know, here's some Doritos and jerky, I'll be back.
Yeah.
One of the girls says, "Who's got the jerky?" The other one says, "You ate it all. You had like 3 pieces out of 5. You counted?" you also ate all of mine. I'm like, this is dialogue.
God.
In a movie.
Yep, this counts.
Talking about padding the fucking runtime. But...
Well, and they apparently weren't very safe because it takes them a minute and a half to walk from that clearing in the woods to a diner.
It was half a mile away.
To a New Jersey diner.
A busy diner.
Mm-hmm. So they walk in, and it turns out Celeste O'Connor's got a shit ton of money. And so that she buys them food, and the waitress brings them out food, and she says to the waitress, keep them coming.
Which ones?
Yes.
Which things?
This
like
is
another
not a buffet.
burger?
Yeah, this is a diner. You don't just say keep what coming?
Right.
All of it. Everything on the menu.
I guess.
Another plate, please.
I guess.
And this trucker recognizes, he's reading a newspaper that says girls kidnapped on the subway.
This happened like 4 hours ago.
He recognizes them from an article about, there's not a photo of it.
Front page of the New York Times is these girls kidnapped.
Of the Daily Bugle.
Oh, you're right.
Another inaccurate New York thing. New York's are fucking snitches.
There's actually a deleted scene. That trucker was also bit by a spider in the Amazon.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Is he in a comic?
Yeah, he's Spider Truck.
Yeah, not to be confused with Truck Man.
He's gonna be in Beyond the Spider-Verse.
That's
actually.
right.
Got it. Thank you.
Spider-Man, the Goblet of Spider-Man.
Over the top of the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So that was the guy that killed, I would say, Day from Next Friday.
Yeah.
Killed Day from Next Friday. And now he's at the diner.
But yeah,
Damn it, y'all just spoiled my pick-me-up film.
this trucker, sees the front page article. This happened just a few hours ago.
Right.
He doesn't call the police. He calls Zosia Mamet. I guess she rerouted the number.
No. He calls the police and she is listening to the scanner.
It.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And so Ezekiel heads to the diner to get these girls. Meanwhile, these girls see some cute teenage boys and they start flirting with them.
Oh.
Yeah, how hot were those boys?
I said what I said.
And for some reason start dancing on the table like they wouldn't get kicked out.
No one reacts.
I know, that's true. Yeah, they're all dancing on this table. The manager does not kick them out.
Like, who does that?
If that had been a Waffle House,
oh, they would have got body slammed.
Yeah.
Can I please just get a waffle?
There would have been a chair thrown.
I could see that happening more at a Waffle House than at this diner in New York. They'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
No, that's what I'm saying. If this had been a Waffle House, no one would have batted an eye.
Yeah.
Even when Ezekiel comes in and starts murdering people.
But this is the 4-star diner. This is a nice establishment.
That's just 2 a.m. at a Waffle House right there.
Yeah. No, did they just slide all the food off the table or something?
Well, instead of Toxic playing on the jukebox, it would have been What's New Pussycat on the loop.
Brittany has been through enough. Putting Toxic in this movie should have been an immediate lawsuit.
Yeah.
Can we just retire Toxic from being used as a needle drop?
We got it. But also, I don't even think this movie takes place in the because Toxic didn't come out until the end, November of 2003.
That is true.
They try to get around it with the DJ so it was released as a single in January of 2004.
Right.
And they try to get around it by the DJ saying, this song is gonna be huge.
And now, no, he says this, he talks about Britney Spears. He says she's gonna be huge.
She was already huge by then.
She was huge by then.
Yeah.
I saw her live 3 years before this.
Wait.
That of everyone here, I expected Nathan to be the one to say that.
I did.
Yeah, wait, what?
This was my first concert.
Yeah. You lucky dog. You lucky dog.
All right. Is that also in the comics?
That is also in the comics.
Is this in the comics too?
Nathan's life is fascinating.
It sure is. So Cassie arrives at the diner. She goes back to the woods and the girls aren't there. She has a vision that they're at the diner. It takes her an hour and a half.
Who fucking cares? Just move on.
Yeah.
It takes her an hour and a half to get there.
Yeah.
JT, just hit the bit part theme. Just fucking 5 fucking months.
This is one of the few bits that I'll give them credit for. I kind of enjoy her tuning the radio and trying to follow the signal that's playing Toxic to figure out how to get there. But it's an oasis in a desert.
It's also meaningless because we know that she can see into the future. So this fight scene where the girls are dying, we know isn't real.
Right.
So this is just a waste of time. And so
I wish it had been. Movie would have been a lot fucking shorter.
It certainly would have been.
Also, she could have used her future powers to figure out the route instead of having to play with the radio.
The powers don't work that way.
Yeah, she can't summon them on her own.
It was 2003. Map quested.
Yeah, map quest getting to the diner.
Map quested. It's fun.
Oh, God.
Print the directions out.
I gotta say, the way she takes down Ezekiel, because he gets into the diner, she just rams this taxi cab into the diner and runs his ass down. And I'm like, that is such a me move. That's exactly how I would take him down.
And presumably like 8 other people in the diner.
Oh, yeah.
Lord.
There's some casualties.
You would just drive into the diner?
Cassie is racking up a body count.
Again, actively murdering everyone.
Well, that's where the teenage boys were sitting, right?
I think it was on the other side, but whatever.
She gets briefly poisoned by this guy, but she's okay. She gets the girls in the taxi. She drives out of there.
Also, wait, yeah, his powers work through the... I don't give a shit.
Know.
Move on.
I don't know the logistics of the powers.
Do not know.
Fucking who cares? So prop cop or no?
he's talking to Zosia Mamet, and she goes, oh, well, I think this girl is the one that's wanted by the police. She goes, I'm not interested in her. And I'm like, really? You're not interested in the woman that has now saved these targets twice from you?
Right.
Using clairvoyance?
He wants the teen girls.
I don't like that. I don't like the sentiment here.
Hit that Law and Order sound.
Thank you.
There you go.
And I also... Wait, isn't that the scene where they pull the Fantastic Four thing? Where she's like, yeah, Cassandra Webb, say that again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
She says that her name's Cassandra Webb, daughter of Constance Webb, deceased. And he goes, did you say Webb?
Yep. And so that's where he starts to piece together who Dakota Johnson is. But they go to a motel.
Connects us all.
It does connect us all. And the girls say, I don't need anyone else to look out for me.
Right.
And I'm like, you almost died twice if it wasn't for Cassie's.
Right.
That's neither here nor there. Anya says they can't go to police protection because her father was deported. That's why she's not able to pay rent. That scene we saw earlier. And I'm like, yeah, but the 2 other girls could, and they also could, I don't know, clear up Cassie's name.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And they could have protection. And she's got a photo of the villain. He's a suspect. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I think everyone in this movie is just really lazy.
Everyone is sleepwalking through this movie.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Ezekiel famous? Because he's got like this giant office building and he keeps talking about everything he's built as though he's like this philanthropist.
We wouldn't know.
He's just a rich guy.
So this is where Cassie seems to leave the girls without telling them to go back to the diner, and then she and Ezekiel have this psychic conversation where very handily his mouth doesn't move the entire scene. He says they would have powers like 4 times, and the 4th time he says it, she goes, in the future the girls have powers? I'm like, yes.
Oh my God.
Pay attention, Cassie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is he barefoot in this scene?
Probably.
Does he have no shoes on?
Probably.
And that scene isn't on the Wikipedia site, the wiki feed?
It's weird.
I can't believe it.
Crazy.
But here's the thing. We don't know if that conversation ever actually happened.
Right.
If she actually did go to the diner, because we cut back and she's just back in the motel room.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it happens.
Yeah,
right.
let's just
And
keep
then
going.
the next scene also doesn't matter too much because she gives them a CPR lesson. And I'm like,
God.
boy, I wonder if that'll come back into play at some point.
Why did I pick this fucking movie?
The reason she decides to do it is because she gets briefly poisoned by him, and she goes, the longer he holds on to you, the more poison gets into your system.
Okay.
How does that relate to CPR?
And Sydney Sweeney goes, and then what happens? And so she's like, because CPR, helps when you get poisoned.
Yeah.
We get to watch each of these women learn CPR. It's interminable.
Padding that runtime. And then she goes, I need to go to Peru. And the girl's like, huh? Post 9/11, she is able, as a wanted for questioning.
She's a fugitive.
Yeah, she is able to get onto a plane.
Yeah.
No, wait, take a stolen vehicle to the airport.
She flies to the Amazon, takes a bus ride, and then uses a photograph of a log
stick
sticking out of the ground. And she goes, I'm in the right place. I found it.
How many felonies did she commit to get her?
I don't know. And then she runs into the guy that saved her as she was being born.
Who seems to not have aged at all.
And this is a reshoot, right?
I'm pretty sure the thing in the Fountain of Youth, is a reshoot.
Okay, got it.
And this guy in Peru is just Tilda Swinton's character because he's able to kick her soul out of her body.
How dare they?
This is like beat for beat the Doctor Strange thing of like kicking the soul out of the body.
But like worse.
Where do you get off?
I know. Where do they get off?
He also tells us that because Ezekiel stole their spider, he was cursed. And so that's why he's gonna die? Because of a magic curse?
I don't know.
Keep going.
But why does he need to kick her spirit out for her to not have a conversation with her mom? Because she sees the doctor's office meeting. She gets the backstory.
She gets to hug a memory she wasn't there for.
Yeah, and then she goes, but I don't have that disease. Yeah, no shit you don't. Did you not see the opening of the movie?
But okay, to be fair, the doctor told that pregnant woman, that 8-month pregnant woman, maybe don't go to South America.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
She says, she looks at her mom and she goes, you did it. You did it.
It is a good read. It is a good read. But she hops on another plane back to New Jersey or wherever. Yep. Meanwhile,
in a stolen vehicle.
And before that, the spider guy tells her, oh, by the way, at some point you'll be able to be in more than one place at the same time. Don't worry about that. It'll probably come up later.
Yeah. Bye.
Wait, what? I missed that. Astral projection?
Yeah, exactly. Moving on.
Moving on.
So my silver lining.
They somehow end up converging near the abandoned fireworks factory.
Yes.
And Ezekiel's about to kill these girls. Cassie has stolen another vehicle. She's stolen an ambulance.
Oh, wait. Side note, Mary's about to give birth.
Oh, yeah. Emma Roberts' water breaks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we don't know. She might have just pissed herself.
She very well could have.
We don't know.
Keep going.
Adam Scott, an EMT, seems to be baffled by the idea of a woman in labor.
Yep,
He's like, I don't know what to do about this, but you should probably just stay here.
That's right. It doesn't matter. But yeah, Dakota Johnson tells Ben, go get the girls from the hotel, bring her here to Emma Roberts' place. She goes into labor.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Move on.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
There's no reason for them to all be together. Yeah.
This guy, Ezekiel, is about to kill the girls because he's got them cornered in the road.
In front of this giant Calvin Klein poster.
Yeah. And man, this guy cannot stop getting run over by cars. He loves it.
The amount of attempted vehicular manslaughter in this film.
He jumps in the way.
Ezekiel jumped into the ambulance.
He does. He jumps into the path of it, trying to, quote unquote, avoid it.
Yeah, like, why would you jump in the path of it?
While he's holding his little goblin bomb.
He drives through the billboard with an ambulance, runs this fucker down.
Ugh, it's wild.
And that's when they start to fight.
I'm like, I don't think that's how ambulances work.
I don't think that's how billboards work.
Not either.
That's not how any of this works.
None of it.
This doesn't kill him, but the Pepsi sign kills him.
Yep. I'm trying to get to it just so JT could see it because it is hilarious.
It's pretty great.
That is insane looking.
Yeah, Zosia Mamet turns all the traffic lights green and then vanishes from the movie.
Yeah.
Yep, we never get a finality to her character.
Her check cleared, so she's done.
Yeah, she's like, it deposited. All right, I'm out.
That's literally everyone in this movie.
I can confirm it did.
Yeah. Guys, this climax of this movie is explosive because it takes place in a fireworks factory.
Right.
So stupid.
And the vision is like so confused. She's like, it's just her yelling like, go, run, jump, get in the helicopter. And it's so hard to follow.
Oh, the way she says, get down 7,000 times throughout this movie.
Oh, I know.
But they're fighting in the factory.
I have barely any notes for this climax.
I do too. It's asleep at the wheel. But they're having this firework factory fight. The fireworks are going off. It's shooting everywhere.
Yeah.
The girls are not very helpful because they don't have their fucking powers.
Wait, hang on,
Here it is,
JT.
guys.
Watch, here it comes, bud.
Here it is.
Okay, and side note about the fireworks. I kept thinking that I was hearing eagles. You know the American Eagle sound? That's fake. I'm like, is that where they got it from? Was fireworks?
I love this.
I mean, there are those whistling fireworks, yeah.
Pretty good theory.
So yeah, they have this fight. It doesn't really matter. She's able to do like an astral projection thing. The police helicopter shows up.
She calls in a helicopter and then those people are killed.
Fireworks are able to destroy a helicopter. Like, it brings it down. The body count, again, that Cassie is racking up.
Yeah, none of this is how fireworks work.
No.
At all.
Okay, well, the fireworks go off. What else? Pepsi, blindness, I don't know.
They're fighting in front of this giant neon Pepsi Cola sign. As they're fighting, Cassie loves falling into the Hudson.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. She loves it. She falls into the water.
He gets crushed by the giant sign.
The P on the Pepsi Cola falls and crushes him. The girls are saved.
The P, not the S.
Yeah.
Like she saw in her vision.
The S is floating in the water, but the P is what kills him.
Okay.
Classic.
So to get Madam Web to where she needs to be, which is blind, a firework, a stray one, shoots through the water and hits her in the eye, blinding her in both eyes, seemingly.
Blinding her in both eyes and seemingly breaking her legs?
I don't know why she's paraplegic.
Did she just hit the water hard or like?
None of this matters. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And the zoom in when she's like, I was the one. You needed to encounter. Like that scene, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The best part about this is the reveal of Cassie after this, because she is
my God,
sitting up in a hospital bed, her eyes are bandaged, and she is just smiling.
Yes,
because she knows how stupid this shit looks.
And now she just talks like this.
Stupid baby.
Also, she got hit in the face with a firework. Where are the burns?
Right.
Nope. Well, we don't know, because it's under those bandages, I guess. But my favorite part is, where the fuck is Richard? Because Emma Roberts gives birth. The baby daddy is nowhere to be seen.
She says earlier in the movie that he's in China or somewhere. Like she's like, he's in Shanghai or something like that. Because in the comics, Richard is a super spy.
Yeah. But I'm just like, what a piece of shit. Can't even be there for your wife giving birth.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, fuck him.
And then the girls are like, oh yeah, Ben's loving being an uncle, all the fun and none of the responsibility.
Hell
and
yeah.
Cassie smiles and says, that's what he thinks. And she might as well be like, one day that baby's gonna hold him while he bleeds out on the steps of City Hall.
But she gives a wide grin about it. She's
Yes.
like, that's what he thinks. This woman is the devil.
Real quick, are we gonna talk about the butchering of the famous line?
Oh yeah. God, how does he say it? Does anyone have it written down?
When you get power, great response, or wait. Fuck, I don't care. Move on.
It doesn't matter.
Oh my God, who cares?
When you take on the responsibility, great power will come.
Yeah. Yep. God.
It's so dumb.
It's honestly a little threatening.
Yeah.
That, and I feel like Cassie here at the end is pretty threatening, because this is why I think it qualifies for the show.
Oh.
Her friend, she can tell is gonna be shot down in the streets like a dog.
Yeah.
And she's like, I won't tell him.
It's supposed to happen.
I'm sorry, but I would be creeped out by this woman because she's like saying bless you before you sneeze. She knows what you're about to eat. Like
she knows all the canon events.
Right.
Yeah.
She's seen the movies.
She's also inexplicably Oracle in the Birds of Prey clock tower now. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say she's in the sanctimonium thing from Doctor Strange.
Oh,
like, she's
sure.
in that same window.
Or she's just like Professor X for Spider Girls.
All of the above.
Do you think she knew about COVID and then just didn't say anything?
Probably.
What a bitch.
Do you think they picked those glasses for her, like, as a joke?
I do not know.
They're like, this blind idiot won't know.
she's rocking the Dr. Disrespect glasses in the last shot of the movie.
That would make sense with all the teenage girls running around. But also,
Wow.
Nathan set up the joke. I'm just here to finish it. That's all I'm here to do.
Wait, no Law and Order sound? Come on, man.
Nathan is going through it with that one.
They are teenagers now.
The best part would have been, because she's blind, if seemingly they gave her those glasses, they give her like the giant nose and the glasses with the bushy eyebrows and everything.
Oh my God. Amazing.
But the thing, there's also, we got to sneak in one more comic book reference, because I think it's Celeste O'Connor says, oh, you wouldn't like me when I'm hangry.
Oh my God.
Were people saying hangry in 03?
Right. Yeah, we weren't saying that yet.
Did Ang Lee's Hulk come out this same year? Is that what she's saying?
Oh, yeah, it did. I don't know if you know this, but the shot of the camera zooming up the brick wall is literally from Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Like, it is stock footage.
Yeah.
They didn't even shoot it.
Like, look at her, man. Like,
oh,
why?
I hate this.
That's the two-time champion right there.
God, Jesus Christ.
That's also a recycled shot from earlier in the movie.
Oh, I'm sure.
They just green screened out the background.
Yes, no, they're all standing in the same poses. Yeah.
I was like, why didn't we get more of them in the movie?
Brandi, this is a prequel to a movie that doesn't exist.
It's a prequel to a prequel.
Yeah, but most of the movie that was here, most of the actual movie we got, we didn't fucking need. Cut half that shit down and just like kill Ezekiel and then like just get to the future where they actually have powers.
Also, what a choice as credit song.
Oh, yeah. What was this? Cranberries?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A song that came out like over a decade before this movie takes place.
Yeah.
Great song, though.
Are we going to see your name here in these credits, Mally? Or are you not?
Yeah. No, my name is in the fucking credits.
Hell yeah.
Is there an after credits? Because I just turned it off. Okay, thank God.
Thank Christ there's not one. Thank God. But yeah, the girls don't get their powers. We don't see any resolution to that. And I would say it also ends on a cliffhanger because we get the hint of powers to come.
Right.
But nope, they're not going to see that in this fucking movie. So yeah, that's fucking Madame Web.
Finally, it's over.
I have a headache.
God. I feel so tired.
Is there anything we didn't cover?
No, there's nothing else we want to talk about. Move on.
All right, well, JT, hit the prop cop theme. Let's get into it. So if you're new to the show, Prop Cop is where all of us are going to pick one prop each from Madame Web. And Mally, I'll give you first dibs because this is your pick. What prop, if any, do you want from Madame Web?
I still have my rap gifts from this movie, so I'm good with those.
Ooh, what is it?
What did you get?
Did you get a hat?
I got a hat, a portable iPhone charger, and I have a shirt somewhere. Hold on.
Sunglasses seems like a missed opportunity if we didn't.
It really was. I was kind of expecting sunglasses or like a wheelchair. Didn't get either of those things.
How much for you to part with that hat?
It's not a hat. It's a beanie.
Oh, offer stands.
So did you get any Pepsi products?
I did not a single Pepsi.
That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
All he wanted was a fucking Pepsi.
That's all I wanted.
I'm a Coke guy.
I'm a Coke guy as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the correct answer. Yes,
pretty much.
I guess I'll go ahead and go. I want that PSP that guy had from the fucking future.
Yeah. Running on Skynet OS.
Because man, if you were not alive during that time, a modded PSP was like the holy grail.
Yeah.
I mean, just having Crisis Core on their thing.
Yeah.
Man, I needed nothing else in this world.
Hell yeah.
Nathan, what are you picking?
At one point, Cassie's drinking a Mountain Dew Code Red,
Hell
and it's
yeah.
in that like a original can that has like very like extreme kind of vibes on it. And I don't know, it brought me back. I just want a can of that. I'm probably not going to drink it, but I want that can.
I found the shirt.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's good.
Nice.
JT, I want you to be a hawk when you see Mally's name in here. You call it out. I want to see this credit.
It'll be under whenever they get to the New York unit because that's what I'm credited under.
Okay.
Understood. Okay. Brandy?
I would probably say the Spire People Journal.
Oh, yeah.
Just to see what other things they culturally appropriated.
Yeah.
There he is. There he is. There he is.
Kill me.
Wait, why am I credited as guy who complains about it?
Why am I credited as feet guy? Oh. Jen, what prop would you like?
I would like all the spiders so I can just cover myself in the spiders and I never have to fucking watch this movie again.
Jesus Christ.
Death by prop.
Death by prop.
Or you just get a bunch of powers.
My power will be the sweet release of death after watching this movie.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
All right.
All right.
Let's get over to bit part. And before you hit the button, JT, I got to preface this. This is very apt for this episode in particular. Go ahead.
He stole that guy's pizza.
Oh man,
one of the best. Love Donnell Rawlings. All right, there's a lot of extras in this movie. It would be nice if we could toss ourselves back to 2003 and we were starring or co-starring, I guess, in this movie. Who is a bit part, a minor character in the movie, preferably a no-name character that we should all play? I'll go ahead and go. I want to be. There's a guy when they walk into the diner, the three girls the first time, not the truck driver that notices them and calls the police, whatever. There's another guy sitting at the diner who sees them. As they walk in, he kind of does like an eye roll. Like, I think that'd be me.
Yeah.
Just sitting at this diner like, oh, these fucking girls, Jesus Christ.
Mine was very similar.
Who are you going to be, Nathan?
In the diner, when they're dancing on the table, there's a guy in the next booth over who kind of looks over like, what the fuck is like that? That was like my face while the scene was happening.
I'm going to see if I can find him. Mally, who are you playing?
My name's already in the fucking credits. I don't need it.
That's very true. Yeah, this guy here, he's just like, oh, God.
He did his time already. He's fine.
Yeah.
Brandi?
I don't know. Probably one of the people that died from Cassie and Ben at work because they didn't have to be in the movie anymore.
Oh, yeah. The chest compressions.
Yeah, that.
Oh, yeah, there's this one guy she's like doing CPR on this guy, and then Adam Scott goes, I need you over here, Cassie. And then luckily, that's the exact second the guy she was working on wakes up, and he's fine.
He goes, ooh. Yeah.
Mistake.
Yeah, I was like, what if he didn't wake up?
Jen, who do you want to be?
I would like to be Utero, not Peter Parker, so I don't have to experience this movie.
Fetal Parker.
Preemie Parker.
Yeah.
Which Peter Parker would you be? Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, or Andrew Garfield?
I will be Utero. I don't want to be I don't want to be involved. I don't want my name spoken.
So in the comics, there's a Utero Spider-Man. He fights Ashton Kutcher's Utero version from Butterfly Effect.
Nice.
You know, we never considered that this also could be the origin story for the animated version that Drake Bell voiced.
Oh, yeah. That's a deep cut. Oh, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, I forgot that was Drake Bell. Wow.
Speaking of teenage girls.
Oh, hit the sound again. There you go.
God.
I honestly just assumed JT left.
Yeah, it's this guy in the gray shirt who's just like, what is happening?
Let's talk about it, fellas and ladies. Let's talk about the silver lining to Madame Web.
Madame Web.
I can go ahead and go first. And mine is that for once, a white person went to the rainforest and did not fuck it up forever. So there you go.
Wow.
Boy.
Cassie got in and got out. So there you go. That was my silver lining. Nathan?
Cassie made peace with her mom's memory.
Aww.
This is like the only one I could really come out with.
All right. Mally? The check cleared?
Well, yes. I have what I'm going to call a brown lining, which is an anti-silver lining.
Okay.
And it's a little meta.
Okay.
In that after wrapping this movie, I immediately went to work on Joker 2.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Why?
The hits keep on coming.
These are choices at this point.
Not enough smoking in this movie.
Not enough smoking in this movie. It's unfortunate because smoking, as we all know, is very cool.
It's so cool.
Jen, what is your silver lining?
My 9/11 conspiracy.
Oh,
God. Let's break this open now. Please go ahead.
I love everything that's happening right now.
Yeah.
You said the magic word. Like if this was Pee-wee's Playhouse, that's Mally's favorite word.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to credit this on Twitter to Jay Shallot, Shallot1.
Okay.
This is what I was hoping you were going to say.
Everyone is old enough to remember 9/11, correct?
Sure.
Well, I mean, you know.
Okay, great.
No, I was born last year.
Only 90s kids remember.
We're assuming it happened.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So, we had 9/11.
Uh-huh.
We had 9/11, didn't we, folks?
Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance.
Uh-huh.
Gerard Way saw the attacks happen, which inspired him to start My Chemical Romance.
Oh, yeah. I did read about that.
Thank God, honestly.
Right? Which then inspired Stephanie Meyers to write Twilight.
Uh-huh.
Which then inspired E.L. James to write 50 Shades of Grey, because we all know it's fanfic.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Star of 50 Shades of Grey, Dakota Johnson.
This is like 6 degrees of separation, and I'm loving it. Keep going.
Goes on Ellen to promote said 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Which led to Ellen getting canceled.
Yay!
Yay!
We did it!
JT hit the sound!
We did it!
We'll run with that.
So 9/11 led to Ellen's cancellation. Isn't that incredible?
Hey, maybe it was worth it.
I love pop culture.
Something good came out of 9/11. My Chemical Romance and Ellen getting canceled.
Yeah.
We love the Black Parade.
I can name a few other things, but that's a different show.
God, that part where she went on Ellen and just completely shut her down with Ellen, that's not true.
Actually, Ellen, that's not true.
I want to dislike Dakota Johnson so much for her acting prowess.
I know.
But then she does things like that, and I'm like, I can't hate her.
Even her Vogue and Architectural Digest interviews, she's a hilarious person.
Yeah, she is very funny. I'll give her that.
Have you ever seen that apartment tour where she's just like, I just love limes?
Yeah.
And she's just got this giant bowl of limes. And like later on in another interview, she's like, I don't know, I was lying. It was set up like that.
I was liming.
Well, she said another interview, she's allergic to limes.
She's doing the Robert Pattinson thing where she just lies in interviews. She doesn't give a shit.
She's a hilarious person.
Robert Pattinson saying he watched a clown explode at the circus.
So I didn't know Dakota Johnson's just constantly doing a bit, and I kind of love that for her.
I do too. I appreciate that.
As we all know, comedy is okay. Clown
is more difficult.
Clown more difficult.
Brandi, what's your silver lining?
Oh, I mean, there's not even much, honestly. Well, I feel like I'm probably wrong about the timeline because I don't remember when the strike started, but was this one of the movies that probably started the strike?
This is post-strike, right?
Nope.
No, this was pre-strike.
Oh.
We shot this in July to November 2022.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like this.
Yeah, it's just like this.
Well, then, we didn't even get that shit.
The silver lining is the credits started rolling. That's always a good fallback.
Yeah. Or, I mean, as much as it's nostalgia bait, I mean, Britney Spears' Toxic is a classic.
There you go. That's a good one. Well, let's say this. If you watch Madam Web and you thought you wasted your fucking time, we're going to give you a pick-me-up, a double feature. And I'm going to say it, no one is allowed to pick Along Came a Spider.
Fuck!
I knew it. I fucking knew someone was going to do it. No, you can't do it. So I'm going to give you mine. And I'm going to pick another movie that revolves around a different kind of insect. It is a movie I just watched last night. I am kicking myself for waiting so long. But I am finally a member of the Hive. I watched Beekeeper.
Yo, it's so good.
It fucking rips. Holy shit. You guys gotta fucking see the Beekeeper. If you were bummed out by Madam Web, throw on the Beekeeper and have yourself a fucking grand time.
It is so stupid, and it's so happy to be so stupid.
It's John Wick, but way dumber, but way funnier. So,
it's so good, great choice, man.
It's incredible. David Ayer's best movie, hands down. Not even a question.
Yeah.
Let's go with Jen. Jen, what movie do you think people should watch after?
Do I actually have an option to pick a TV show?
Sure. Go ahead.
So the director of this directed an episode, probably one of the best episodes of Succession.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I still gotta actually watch that show.
Oh my God, it's so fucking good.
I believe it's with the Warehouse Party episode.
Yes, you're right.
So please, instead of this movie, just watch all of Succession.
All of it.
All of it.
It's
better. It's a better use of your time. And you can see that one episode that the director of this was actually the director's film debut.
Yep.
She has banger TV episodes. So literally anything on her filmography that's not this.
That's not this, yeah. Nathan, what are you watching?
I recently watched something that really made me happy when I needed it. And it's on Netflix. Another film about a lady in a coat trying to get to the bottom of the life, the universe, and everything. Please watch Kunk on Life.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Oh, God.
Yes.
It is delightful.
God. Man, I just watched the first episode of Kunk on Britain.
Yeah.
Or no, it was Kunk on Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah. The best.
God damn it. My favorite thing is just she's like, 400 years ago, William Shakespeare stopped happening. And I was like, that's the funniest fucking way.
The way she phrases things like, the most important thing we can do as a human being is piss in our jeans.
Oh, you mean pass on your genes. Yeah. Brandi, what do you think we should watch after Madam Web?
Are we allowed to say another Marvel movie?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, probably No Way Home.
There you
you
go.
can watch an actual real spider movie.
Okay.
That was done right.
Spider-Man, he came back.
Yeah.
Spider-Man back at it again.
Here he comes.
You can just forget you saw Madam Web and just cleanse your palate with No Way Home.
That's
There
right.
you go. Mally, what are you watching?
I'm gonna go full shameless self-promotion right now.
Joker 2, got it. All right, moving.
No, I'm gonna go with, because this was a Sony film and I've worked for them a few times. I'm gonna go with the most recent Sony film I did, which was Saturday Night.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
movie.
All right.
Good movie.
And I actually worked on a good movie for once. It was a different experience.
It's a fun movie.
I gotta check it out.
JT, I know you didn't watch the movie, but now that you've heard it, can you throw in any suggestion for a movie people should watch after Madam Web?
So trying to draw any connection from what I've seen, from what you're showing me now, the giant pea landing on the guy killing him reminds me of in Final Destination.
Yeah.
After they go to
Paris,
was it?
Yep.
And the guy gets killed by the marquee sign. So I'm gonna go with Final Destination.
Nice.
I thought you were just going to say, like, you can't spell Paris without P.
Yeah. P for Paris.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the only other thing I wanted to mention is that this is not Sydney Sweeney's only movie revolving around spiders that currently has an 11% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Because she was also in a movie in 2013 called Spiders 3D.
Oh.
That has an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, wow.
I just thought that was pretty funny.
Incredible.
Sick.
Didn't know she was working back then.
Oh, yeah. She's been around for quite some time. She was in John Carpenter's The Ward.
Oh, yeah.
She's been in smaller roles. And I think maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was like the first time she kind of like was noticeable.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
I didn't know her until Euphoria. So
That was a big breakout for her too. I think I know the answer to this question, but I gotta ask: do we recommend Madame Web?
Shut the fuck up.
That's a perfect answer right there.
That's it. End the episode. We're done.
No, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I would say don't watch the movie, but maybe pull up like compilations of the best quote unquote best moments,
Dialogue
like the
reads.
weirdest. Yeah. It's more fun to talk about than it is to watch.
My wife, go ahead, Nathan.
What?
So we went and saw this actually while it came out while we were working on Saturday night, and we went to see it, and she can see the good in almost any movie. We walked out of this, and she just looked at me and was like, I got nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. There's no good aspect of that.
What was the new addition to His Wife that we did on Show Guys? I can't remember what it was. It was like His Kids. There you go. So, I've already said it before, but yeah, this movie is just boring, and that's its biggest sin.
Yeah.
And there are way worse comic book movies than this, I think. But those are at least fun to watch. This is just boring.
Well, it tries to do too much and nothing at all at the same time. I still don't even know what happened to Mark at the end of this one.
I don't either. Mark,
that's true. He just kind of disappeared.
Who's Mark?
There it is!
Oh my god.
Yes.
Who the fuck is Mark?
I realized I was halfway, I was just singing like, fuck.
We got him! Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him! Mission accomplished.
Oh, God.
God damn it.
My only other note that we didn't get to is that he's more like Ezekiel Simps, am I right?
God damn it.
Oh god.
For teenage girls? Hit the sound.
Hit the Law and Order sound effect, JT. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, so none of us recommend it.
No.
5 fucking months. God damn it.
Molly, have you already sought therapy?
He needs to file a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Men would rather work on Madam Web than go to therapy.
They'd rather work on Madam Web, absolutely. So if you haven't already, we ask that you please subscribe and leave us a rating and some feedback wherever you're listening to us right now. If you haven't already, you can follow us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Bluesky. You can check out our subreddit at reddit.com/r/silverliningsplaylist. You can check out our website at tslppodcast.com. If you have a suggestion, if you want to give us feedback, or if you want to submit your submission for a bit part to be thrown into the rotation for the cues, you can use the contact us form on our website, or you can email us at thesilverliningsplaylist@gmail.com. And lastly, we mentioned already, we talked about Show Guys, but if you want Show Guys as well as getting episodes early and some other great bonuses, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/silverliningsplaylist. 7-day free trial, plus it's only $1 a month after that. Brandi and Jenn, I couldn't have asked for 2 better guests to come on to talk about this movie in particular, so thank you so much. And maybe next time, we'll do a good movie again. Maybe that'll be the ebb and flow.
It doesn't seem to be the case looking at our schedule, but
that's the trend I'm noticing.
I mean, if we're really gonna do it like you said, then...
Well, I gotta bleep that out, but yeah, but we might be doing that.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. That's another little tease. So speaking of teases, Nathan.
Yes.
Finally, I got this right. Next week I'm checking the schedule, is your pick, I believe.
Oh yeah. Did you tell Brandi and Jenn that you truly thought I put Madam Web on the schedule?
I did. Yeah, I thought this was Nathan's pick.
Who did it?
It was Mally's because he worked on it.
You were sitting here the entire time, bitching and moaning.
On a throne of lies.
Not Dustin throwing Nathan under the bus. Wow.
To be fair, I just assumed I was going to miss this episode too.
Yep.
I already weaseled my way out of Joker 2.
You sure did.
Melly needed a break.
I guess we should ask too, any thoughts, Joker 2? You still haven't seen it, have you?
I haven't watched it.
There you go. All right.
No one needs to watch it. I haven't watched it. I'm fine.
Nathan, clue for next week.
So we're leaving the Spider-Verse and heading into a very different multiverse next week.
We sure are.
And in this multiverse, I am nobody's bitch.
This is the one episode that one of our past guests was so desperate to be on. And I think we're going to finally do it.
Absolutely.
Boy, it's going to be one hell of an episode.
Yep.
Some might even say it's the one episode to check out.
Some people might say that we're doing the movie The One.
They might say that. The movie we're doing next week is very similar to Jet Li's The One.
Can I go be with my family now?
Yeah, we'll get out of here. So thank you for listening, everybody. Rest in peace, Oatmeal. And as always, seriously, don't do dumb things.
I will not give up.
When are we doing the reshoots for this episode?
Where's my spider? They took my spider.
Jesus Christ, that was a long one. Anyway, if you're still here, thanks for listening. And remember, you can always check out our back catalog for over 100 episodes of the show. Like, subscribe, and leave feedback if you want. And tune in next week for another one. Laters!